Welcome to the Legalpreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Sager, founder and CEO of Legalpreneur Inc. As a serial entrepreneur and someone that works exclusively with small business owners legally protecting their business, I'm dedicated to covering common legal issues faced by business owners, providing you with the business knowledge you need to catapult your business's growth and showing you just how some of the world's most elite entrepreneurs have handled these legal and business issues themselves. In true attorney fashion, the information in this episode is not legal advice. This is for informational purposes only, and you should always consult with your attorney before implementing any of the information in the show. Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Legalpreneur Podcast. I am going to be chatting today about hiring and when to make that first hire, how to make that first hire. I know it's a scary topic, but I'm sure some of you are at that point and you're just scared to make the leap. So I'm going to chat about that. But first, you guys, if you're not in the Legalpreneur membership, you're missing out. We are helping tons and tons of new business owners get connected with a rock star attorney, getting them all access, getting their businesses in compliance, getting all the legal protection they need so they can sleep easy at night, knowing that they don't have to live in fear of getting sued. It's a real fear, and subconsciously it's stopping you from growing your business. So if you are not currently in the membership, you don't have all access to an attorney, then you need to get in right now, because what are you waiting for? Like, the longer you wait, the longer you are stagnating your business's growth, which also leads me to hiring, because that's probably stagnating your growth as well. So I get the question all the time, when should I hire? How do I hire? And first I'm going to tackle when, because it is a relative question. I don't think there's really a dollar mark to it. It's more, I would say, time. And you don't think that you have to hire a full-time employee. You can literally start with somebody, start them out at 5 hours a week. I will give you a quick background on my first hire. So she is still with me today. She's my ride or die. Cassie, if you've been a client of the law firm or Legalpreneur, you've probably communicated with Cassie, my paralegal, and she was my very first hire, January 2019, and I launched my firm April 2018. It was slow growth at first, I would say through the summer, because I was studying for the Texas bar exam and I moved across the country, so it was slow growth. So at the end of 2018, things started to pick up and I knew I needed help, but of course I wasn't like, oh, I know exactly what this person is going to do. I was just like, oh my God, I need some help. And let me see if I can find, somebody that can just figure stuff out. Luckily, Cassie was introduced to me, and I even posted it on like Indeed and everything, but it was actually an introduction from somebody that I met from my previous business, my clothing boutique. And it was, it was Cassie's, or it is Cassie's sister-in-law that made it the introduction to us. And she was getting ready to graduate from paralegal school. And I was like, hey, I don't know exactly what I need help with, but I need somebody that's going to just be able to figure it out. And she was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm along for the ride. And thankfully, she truly has been along for the ride. We've been through so much. I mean, I think at that point we were bringing in probably like $12,000 a month, and she saw us grow to $1 million plus. Now she's with us at Legalpreneur, and she truly is like my ride or die. And she's been one that has always been able to just figure things out. I remember sometimes I'm like, hey, we need to figure out how to do this. Can you just see what you can do? And at first I told her, I was like, probably it's not going to be more than 10 hours a week. And I would say for a few months it was like that. It was probably 10 or 15 hours a week. And I would just tell her, give her little assignments like, hey, I need this done. Can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And she just knew going into it, like, I don't really know exactly what I need, but she was very understanding and she was flexible as well. That was very helpful that she was flexible and wanted the flexibility. And I just told her, hey, I don't necessarily care exactly when you work as long as the job's getting done. And she does have children. So I think what really worked out for her, she does really pretty much work like the 9 to 5 or 8 to 5, whatever it is. But she's the world's greatest first hire. And I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without her. But I could brag on her all day long. But what I say that because I want you guys to understand this first hire probably needs to understand that you don't know exactly what you need. And what things you need to outsource, these are repeatable processes. So first, things that you're repeating in your business over and over, see if you can automate it by some type of software. And if that can't be done, then you need I'm going to guess the first hire needs to be some sort of virtual assistant. Also, I mean, some people refer to this as an OBM, an online business manager. Basically, somebody that can just be your right hand and do the things that are not really moving the needle for you. So these things are just things that are constantly being repeated. So I know at first I had Cassie, because I would always get people that would reach out on social media and they're like, hey, can you send me your trademark information? And this was before we ever had it on the website. And she would just send the information. She would just email it to him. And it was as simple as that, like sending emails. And then when we would get new clients, she would send them all their documents, like the engagement letter, the invoice, the intake form. She would be the one to get all that set up. And now, I mean, she can literally run the business herself now, which when I'm out of town, she does. But basically, it's somebody that you want, somebody that's going to grow with you. And at first I did pay her as a contractor. So I hired her January 2019, August 2019, she became a full-time employee. So I would say, I think the whole time she was probably up until August 2019, she was limited or really didn't work like more than 10 to 15 hours a week. And then August, I think that's when we really, really started to ramp things up. And that's when she became full-time. So she was my first hire. She has been absolutely amazing. She's been like a paralegal / assistant, and really just like, I like to refer to her as my ride or die. But for you want to look at, okay, what's being repeated in the business that's not moving the needle? And what I mean by moving the needle is not, like the end result of that is not generating revenue. So sending those emails and onboarding new clients, that's not generating revenue. Like you took the sales call, possibly took the sales call, or you talk to that client. You need to be out networking. You need to be out doing the things that are going to have a direct impact on the bottom line. Of course, if that person isn't actually doing their job, then that's going to affect the bottom line. But by her doing it, it's not affecting your bottom line. And I know that making this first hire is so scary, especially if you're not sure if you can afford it. I remember those feelings so clearly. It's like, oh, I think I'll be okay, but I'm just not sure. What if I have to fire her? What if I can't pay her? And that's why you want to start small. So just, limit their expectations. Say, hey, I think I need somebody for 5 hours a week, but possibly this could turn into a full-time gig, and just be very transparent. Let them know, hey, I'm just, you're my first hire. I don't even know exactly what this role is going to be. And you'll find that once you start freeing up more of your time, that allows you to have that time back to do more of the revenue generating things. And so your business will grow. It's so scary making that hire, but once you do, it's just magic that happens because you all of a sudden have so much more time to do the revenue generating things, and your business grows from there. So it's definitely way more in depth than that, but that's the high level. Like when do you hire? And it's when you're doing repeatable things in the business that somebody else can do. How do you do it? I've talked about this on an episode before. Even if they're a contractor or an employee, I suggest going through Gusto, and you can click the link in the show notes. It is an affiliate link, but I think like both of us will get an Amazon gift card or something like that if you sign up. But I use Gusto. I use them for the law firm, and I still use them for Legalpreneur. So very great. You can pay contractors, you can pay employees, and they do all the reporting for you. They get everything set up in the state that you need. They take care of all of it, and it's relatively cheap. I think even for like 10 employees, at one point in the law firm, we had 10 employees, and I think it was like under $100 to do payroll and everything. So very cost effective, and all you need. It's really all you need for employees, whether you hire somebody as an independent contractor or as a W-2 employee. So That's how you actually do it. Of course, I'm sure you have questions here and there, like about the nuts and bolts about hiring. If that's the case, definitely get in the Legalpreneur membership. We will get you connected with an attorney in your state to handle all these questions and so much more. All right, you guys, don't be afraid. Make that first hire. And I love to see how much you grow once you start hiring. I've seen this so much with clients that they finally make the leap. And it is a leap. I truly think it is a leap. It's a leap of faith. It's a leap of, trusting that you're going to be able to pay that employee, that they're going to, work out. And sometimes they don't, but that's okay. You can just hire somebody else. Always be slow to hire and quick to fire. That's something that I've always lived by. So, all right, you guys, join the membership. Stop waiting. Let me know if you have questions. I'll see you guys next time. Here at Legalpreneur, we're committed to providing a supportive legal community for all business owners. I know how scary the legal stuff can be. If you found this information helpful, I would be so grateful if you could share it with a fellow business owner. And quite frankly, it doesn't cost anything to rate, review, or subscribe to the show. Your support helps me reach more listeners, which allows me to support more business owners in their entrepreneurial journey. Have any questions or comments about the show? Feel free to drop me a line on Instagram. I promise I read all of the messages and comments. And if you want to be a guest on the show or know someone that would make a great guest, simply fill out our application form and a team member will reach out if we think it's a good fit. I'll see you in the next episode.